All right, good evening. Welcome to another episode of The Pop-Up. I am your host, the Big O, coming to you live from the Black Media Matters studios here in downtown Seattle. Man, we got a fantastic show on tap for you tonight. It's almost like we're hopping in a time machine, you know what I'm saying, catching up with TK. And we got a lot of ground to cover. Before we get to our esteemed guest this evening and catch up on, I guess, the last 6 years, basically, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, We Rise Wines. We Rise Wines, located right across the street from the Moore Theater on 2nd Avenue. Really dope spot. You know what I'm saying? It's all the wines for us, by us. Outside of it, it's just a beautiful place. The food is slapping in there. It's nice. Plus, it's an event space. It's a really good spot to bring somebody to, you can imagine. You know what I'm saying? And you support a business that supports us. It's also Black woman-owned. Big shout-out to Jamila Conley. Check them out at werisewines.com. All right. That being said, very happy to welcome here to the Black Media Matters studio, TK Turner. How are you?
Hey, man, I'm good. We alive. We here. I can't complain. I'm doing well. College life, man. Living that college life right now.
Living that college life. And we're going to get into a lot of stuff, but we're going to get to headlines before that. But me and TK go back to the Seattle protests. That's where we first met in the role of a journalist and a reporter and a protest leader. And so we did countless interviews with TK during the Seattle protests and have continuously caught up over the years. We've literally seen you grow.
Man.
During the protest, definitely. It was a lot of growing real fast during that summer of 2020. And then over the last 6 years, you've blossomed into, something else.
Everybody goes through a change. It's like a butterfly, you know, or a caterpillar. When they get in that cocoon, they come out a butterfly, right? So 2020, I think that was my caterpillar stage, man. Like you said, I did a lot of growing in a short amount of time. It was just on the fly every day. And now over the years, it just, refined inside of that cocoon. And just now I'm trying to spread my wings a little bit and keep going.
All right, good stuff. We're going to talk about how far you've come out of that cocoon. But first up, we got our headlines today. Let's see what Mr. Meade Gill put together for us, huh? I think the first up, this has actually been a national headline that's emanated here out of the Emerald City. This is the LGBTQ Commission asked Seattle to declare a state of emergency to increase resources for trans refugees. According to an article written by Felix Cullington for LGBTQ Nation, the Seattle LGBTQ Commission has formally petitioned that Mayor Katie Wilson declare a civil state of emergency to address the massive influx of LGBTQ plus refugees seeking safety and essential services right here in the Emerald City from states across America that are threatening trans rights. The commission expressed alarm that this rapid influx has strained the resources of community-based organizations responsible for housing, healthcare, and financial aid, stating that the demand already exceeds available capacity. While a civil emergency would grant the mayor quick budget allocation power, Mayor Wilson has instead committed to convening a community-centered team along with the Seattle Office for Civil Rights to evaluate service capacity and develop a long-term roadmap for investment. This is supposed to happen between June and August of 2026. National news here in the city of Seattle. It's LGBTQ refugees coming here to the Emerald City.
Yeah, I mean, especially like when it comes to these types of things, I feel like everybody, regardless of how you identify, how you present yourself, or whatever the case may be, should be entitled to have health, safety, and security where they live, right? And so I do think us being one of those cities that people tend to seek a lot of refuge in because we are a refugee city, I think with this new influx of people coming here, seeking it, refuge here, we should be cautious in this moment too, though, because we already have a community here that is kind of underserved and doesn't necessarily have access to the resources that they should. And so Seattle as a city, we tend to have this thing where, yes, we'll take the huddled masses of other cities and other states that are yearning to breathe free here, while at the same time taking from our own huddled masses. So I think with the mayor's proposing with this city center, this community center team to evaluate the city services and the resources available, they should also take a look at what it's going to take to actually meet the need that is coming into the city, on top of already meeting the needs that are in the city. Because I feel like, especially here in Seattle, I feel like the LGBTQIA plus 2S community has been whitewashed a lot. And the people who look like those who built the foundation for this community get left on the back burner. And I think while you're putting together this team, you guys should make sure that those people, black, indigenous, and brown, trans, and non-binary people, are centered but also included, and not just taking the mainstream acceptable route of whitewashing it and be like, yeah, we can make this acceptable and digestible to the overall whole.
Yeah, basically, kind of maybe what I hear you saying is they should address the existing need that's here as well while they're doing his evaluations, right? Yeah. I think that also a bigger issue is people feeling that their rights are under attack all across America. And I mean, Seattle has been that city for a lot of different groups over time. So we'll see
what times we live in.
Yeah, no, we'll see how this progresses here with Mayor Wilson. The second thing, what do we got here? This is the Seattle, man, this is crazy here. Seattle police rushed to find Capitol Hill College student after gun messages sparked mass shooting concerns. Wow, this is from the Capitol Hill Seattle blog. Big shout out to our guy, Justin Carter, who reports that the Seattle Police Department and its crisis response team conducted a tense search on Tuesday afternoon after a Capitol Hill College student posted a photo of a shotgun on Discord that sparked mass shooting concerns. After the student initially refused to comply with officers and reportedly left his apartment with a shotgun carrying case, police fanned out to search the surrounding area, including busy Cal Anderson Park. Man. Officers eventually located and detained the student back at his apartment for presenting an imminent danger to the public. Police successfully recovered the shotgun after the student disclosed that he had buried it in the woods near Robinson Community Park in Bellevue. The student may face criminal charges and is expected to attend a hearing in the coming weeks to determine the long-term status of the firearm restriction. Just another day on Capitol Hill?
Just another day in the world, if you think about it, man. And from what I read about it, he was a fan of Mr. Elliot Rodger. So the inscription he had on his gun was, he etched Elliot Rodger was right. And Elliot Rodger is a guy who in 2014 committed the Isla Vista attacks. And so he murdered 6 people, injured 14 others, and then offed himself in that incident. And he basically did it stating that basically it was revenge for all men who had been rejected. And when you have a kid that is writing that name on there and idolizing a guy like that, something is wrong. And we need to do more than just give him an emergency restrictive protective order or something like that, because who's to say he doesn't have access to other firearms, and he might just somehow figure out a way to carry out whatever insidious plan he had cooked up.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a case. It looks like people see something, say something.
Yeah, and luckily this time they did say something because I know a lot of times in those Discord spaces, things are just kept in those Discord spaces. So I'm glad whoever seen it felt concerned enough to actually report it and prevent a school shooting or whatever the case may be. So that's the blessing in disguise. I guess that's the silver lining in it, you know?
There it is. All right, keeping it moving here. Man, this is like housing for young people here. This says King County Housing Authority offers new youth programs in Kent and Auburn. In an article for the Auburn Reporter, Steve Hunter reports the launch of the King County Housing Authority's Youth Safety and Belonging Initiative, a strategic partnership backed by $800,000 first-year investment to support young people ages 14 to 19. Under this initiative, KCHA has partnered with Federal Way-based Northwest Credible Messenger to bring healing-centered, place-based belonging to targeted housing communities in Kent and Auburn for youth impacted by community violence. The relationship-driven program features a peer credible messenger model led by staff with lived experience who provide proactive outreach, rotating group sessions, and voluntary one-on-one mentorship.
Hey, that sounds like the best thing they could be doing for these youth. It sounds like we're starting to take our foot off of divesting in the youth and put our foot on the gas of investing in them. That's what this is starting to sound like, and I'm all for it. I know they're doing it in Shoreline out there in Shoreline too, where Choose 180 is gonna partner with those guys out there to, you know, and they're an organization that has helped many system impacted youth throughout the years. I'm actually one of those youth that they've helped throughout the year.
Choose 180 alum, huh?
Yes,
Okay.
sir, very much so. And so I'm a big advocate for initiatives that are led by people with those same lived experiences, because what I'm learning as I get older, from growing up from being a youth till now, is that you have to meet these youth where they're at in that moment. You can't try to pull them up to where you want them to be. You have to meet them where they're at and kind of walk them to where you want them, where they need to be. And if you can't, then there's no way you're going to be able to actually really connect with them, especially if you're just trying to do it from an academic standpoint with no real connection to what they're going through.
Nah, that's big fact. I like what you said there. You gotta meet people where they're at, and not exactly where you want them to be. Meet them where they're at. Good stuff. Keeping it moving here. Man, this is really good news. Tubman Health, or Rockwood Tubman Health. New Tubman Health Center takes root in Rainier Beach. In an article in the Seattle Medium, Kiara Doyle reports on the upcoming construction of the $42 million Tubman Health Center in Rainier Beach, a community-led facility designed to expand holistic and culturally responsive care in South Seattle. Located near the Rainier Beach Light Rail Station, the 26,000 square foot center is expected to serve 12,000 patients annually and will offer a wide array of services, including allopathic and naturopathic primary care, behavioral health, acupuncture, physical therapy, and diagnostic imaging. To mark this milestone, the Tubman Center for Health and Freedom will host a relationship-centered soil turning ceremony on June 5th. And it's slated to open in the winter of 2027. The center has garnered strong local support and is poised to become an essential pillar for health and wellness in the Rainier Beach neighborhood.
Hey, listen. So as a district baby, my family has been in the Rainier Beach neighborhood. I was born in the district. We're going to make that real clear. But as my family has been in the Rainier Beach neighborhood for over 50 plus years. And so growing up and then going back and forth between the two and seeing the intentional divestment from the community, lack of urgency to actually do something substantial to make the community what it should be, and seeing how the Tubman Center is bringing what Rainier Beach has been asking for so long, culturally centered care that actually focuses on the individual and who they are and their backgrounds and things of that nature. It's almost like all these light bulbs are starting to come on right now in Seattle, because for years and years and years we watched Rainier Beach be essentially forgotten about. And over the past few years, we've seen the reinvigoration of Rainier Beach and how they've turned to investing in the Rainier Beach. And I feel like that is the great thing. And we need to keep that going. Let this be one of many investments that bring economic, social, and environmental safety and security to the neighborhood without gentrification, though.
Yeah.
Without gentrification.
Without that part right
That's
there.
the main thing. Do it without gentrification.
Yeah. Can we stay? Can we age in place?
Yes. Yes. I want to be able to grow up in a neighborhood and then possibly one day raise some other generations in that neighborhood and be like, we've been here for this many amount of years. So please keep investing without gentrification. Please.
All right. Big shout out Tubman Health, man. You know, I did some acupuncture there. That was nice. Listen, I would be sleeping like less than 2 minutes. They put the acupuncture.
I might have to go try it. I ain't never tried it. The little pokes, man. It's a little.
Yeah, no.
But if you can get a tattoo, you can get some acupuncture.
You can definitely get some acupuncture, and it don't hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird because they put all these whatever pins in you, and it doesn't hurt, but they be putting it at all the right points, and you just be like, ooh.
Yeah, the Tubman Center might be getting a visit from me sooner than later.
Come on, man. Tell them Big O sent
real.
you. All right, let's see here. Oh, this is a nice one. This is going on this weekend. To honor the season, Wari and NAAM will stage a black graduation. In an article over the South Seattle Emerald, reporter Lauren Bray highlights the upcoming black graduation art fair scheduled for this weekend. That's Saturday and Sunday at the Northwest African American Museum, also known as NAAM. And co-staged by NAAM and Wari, a Central District nonprofit and cultural space dedicated to reclaiming black cultural space, this fair will showcase work by black creators from across the Pacific Northwest under the theme Lineage and Emergence. Free and open to the public, to the public. The pilot event aims to sponsor a local collector class by helping attendees navigate the art buying process through payment arrangements, with a portion of the sales directly benefiting new partnership with the National Forum for Black Public Administrators. Man, these guys got a lot going on over here.
Man, payment arrangements for art, never even knew that was a thing, man. See, and this is why it's important to teach people about how to purchase art in the different ways you can purchase art. It ain't always got to be up front. So that's actually a great thing. But even more important is the acknowledgement of black creators in the Pacific Northwest. Because a lot of times when people think of the Pacific Northwest, they don't think of black people being in the Pacific Northwest. They think grunge music and things of that nature. They don't really think black culture exists here. And so to have a space where black creators can come and not only share their art, but actually tell their stories from their perspectives, from their lived experiences, and from how those things have shaped them as an artist and their art up until this point. I think that's very important, especially when it comes to black joy. Because to me, art is a form of black joy. I do a little bit of photography. I don't claim to be an artist. I'm not going to say that. But to me, that brings me joy to be able to just go out with my camera and take pictures. So I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that for those artists, it's the same. It brings them that same amount of joy. And considering the fact this country likes to celebrate black trauma more than it does the joy we experience, I think this is the most perfect way that you could celebrate black joy, especially during this time.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Big shout out to Wari and NAAM. Man, get it down there. Let's support this thing. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back with our guest, TK Turner, we're talking about the state of social justice and equity in Seattle. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. Don't go nowhere. You're watching The Pop-Up.
Hey, come on in. So what brings you in today?
He think he know
A
me.
man can't make a sandwich.
He makes me sick.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Just talking.
Me, my family, my dreams, all of it.
Acts on Stage presents the world premiere of Black Man Goes to Therapy. Running May 21st through 31st, this interweaving stage play tells of a reluctant wanderer's encounter with a therapist who's seen better days. Black Man Goes to Therapy is written by Jeremy Rubin and features Ariel Davis, Joshua Webb, Carl Covington, Courtney Williams, Franklin Johnson, Zakiya Carter, and Jeffrey L. Cheatham II, with direction by Isaiah Anderson Jr. This profoundly moving theatrical therapy session is an unmissable experience where the unapologetic hope is healing. Tickets available now at actsonstage.com.
This summer, Metro connects the world.
All right, welcome back to the Pop-Up. I'm your host, The Big O, coming to you live from the Black Media Matters studio right here in downtown Seattle. Big shout out to our live director tonight, Mr. Eric Calligraphy. And we're joined by TK Turner. And we're going to have a discussion here in this segment. It says the state of social justice, equity in Seattle. But before we jump into that, TK, me and you, we actually sat down 5 years ago at Mohi, right? And this was Stand Up Seattle, the Democracy Project. And me, you, and Stephanie Johnson Tolliver. And it was a great interview session there about really coming out of the protest and how we were all feeling as a city, and what we went through and what we experienced. Yeah. We got a short clip right here from Stand Up Seattle, the Democracy Project.
My entire life, I've always believed that actions speak louder than words. You gotta walk the walk now. Now it's time to go walk, bro. You talked enough, now let's go walk it. What if the city stood up like this for itself? How much change could we affect here? How much change can we get done here if we come out and stand up like this for where we live?
Democracy is everything to me. I think that the United States has that open system. I mean, I've visited other countries. I've been outside of the United States, and I've seen it in other ways and forms. And still here in the United States, we have probably one of the best forms of democracy, though it's really hard for us sometimes, and particularly now.
Being in a museum and a repository of history, I think that it's important that people in Seattle realize that the Seattle protest is a chapter in a very long book here in Seattle and in the state of Washington for people standing up. And we're living this chapter right now. So we feel it. It's emotional. It's intense. You know, I'm still living with injuries from the protest.
You can tell me that you believe in me and that you're here for my life. Show me. Show me. What we did was we would march every single day to different parts of Seattle, go to council members' houses, talking to them, getting them to engage with the community that is most impacted by systematic racism.
Yeah, man, that was like if people out there, you go to YouTube's probably the fastest. Put Converge Media, Mohi, and then you'll see the short version and also the 20-minute version of that impactful discussion. You know, that's my mama's favorite. One of the favorite things we've ever made at Converge was that story right there.
Man, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was probably like to me, that was like one of the most important things I could have done in my life in that moment. And honestly, just hearing it just made me a little emotional now, man, because it's like when you look back on that time and you understood what you were saying then and how you did it now. it makes you realize you was heading in the right direction.
That's real. So the question is here, what is the state of social justice equity in Seattle now?
I feel like right now we're kind of at this crossroads with it, man. Dealing with the new socialist mirror and all these different things, all these moving parts that are going on in the city. And I feel like we're at a crossroads right now where either we can keep being pacifist about it, like we've been for I don't know how many years here, or we can go out on a limb and be willing to risk our comfortability to actually bring about some social justice equity here in Seattle to communities that have suffered from the lack of those things. But until we as a city and as a village realize that nothing's gonna come by us just being pacifist about it. We're not gonna close this income gap that is humongous by being pacifist or just keep raising minimum wage. That's not gonna solve it. We're not gonna close the education gaps that we see by just being pacifist about it. We have to be proactive about these things. We have to be proactive about the future of these things here in Seattle, because as long as we stay stagnant and we keep being pacifist about it, we're gonna keep dealing with the same microaggressions that just keep getting pushed more and more into the closet. I feel like right now, people could say, oh, Seattle's not as bad as it used to be. To me, it's worse because it's more closeted. It's worse now because at least I'd say before 2020, maybe even a little bit after, you would know. You would know these things. You can see them for yourself, and they were apparent to you. Now, it's like we get better at masking. We get better at hiding how we actually feel about you guys. And so now that we find a way to mask it better, we do different with policies and mask them differently.
Nah, it's real. I told somebody the other day that what's made me a bit bitter over the years wasn't, looking back in retrospect, it wasn't the protest. It wasn't the tear gas. It wasn't the rubber bullets. It wasn't an injury. I got injured there. It wasn't none of that. What made me bitter is looking back now on realizing how the city actually is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like 2020, it was like, man, this is what the city could be. And you had all these people coming together. But, man, I'm telling you, it's the worst thing. I was on a podcast not too long ago. The clip went viral because I watched it. I was like, man, some of this stuff here is like, you feel that is so covert in the actions here. You see what I'm saying? And when you realize that, and you realize these companies that got out in front talking about, DEI and George Floyd, this and that, man, they don't really spend no money with no black folks. You know what I'm saying? These people never even return our emails 4 or 5 years later, but you see them patting themselves on the back and all this stuff, and you just realize that, man, it was all crap. It was all a smoke screen. Bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was... let me stop right there and say one time for everybody that's kept it $100, 10 toes down, man, from June 2020 to today. And I'm definitely not talking about you. You already come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, races, religions, age, and everything else. You guys you the real MVPs. I'm talking about, man, these guys who they blew like the wind. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, when you look at it, years of that is really what makes somebody like me be like, man, come on.
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie to you, dude, because that's the point where I got bitter at, is when I don't care what city officials do, because we know what they gonna do. They gonna pacify and then they gonna go back to their same ways. To me, it was the people. It was us as a city. We came out here and we actually showed them what we could do as a city and how the energy and the power we create makes the difference, not them. And then it's like a year and a half later, they still understood that message. And then after that year and a half later, it's like we as a people just said, screw it, we don't care no more. We had our moment in history and it's over with now. We just gonna go back to living our lives and being comfortable again. Well, some people didn't get to go back to comfortability. I don't know how to go back to a normal life anymore. I don't even know what normal is anymore. That's why I went to school, because I don't know what going back to how things used to be feels. I can't do that. I'm sure you can't do that. But there's a lot of people in this city who, after that year and a half, went right back to how they were before. And that's the part that, I ain't gonna lie, that's the part that makes me like, bro, do I even really want to go on this limb again for y'all? Like, do I really want to come back out here and go on a limb for y'all again? But because I believe in humanity and I believe in human beings and I believe in the youth and these future generations, that's why I'm going to go back out on that limb. And that's the only reason. The adults, bro, y'all adults is on your own. You ain't got no help from me. I'm going to keep it a buck.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And then on the whole other side, you have a whole whitewashing, literally, of history. These guys will tell you that it's like, they're just claiming a whole narrative of what the protest was and what the protest wasn't. I mean, of course, Converge got the receipts. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's why earlier when I brought up the whole whitewashing, because Seattle is a city that whitewashes the history and excludes the people who made that history. And it's not okay. We can't keep doing that. Look what we've done to the Central District. We've put up faces on electrical boxes as symbolisms of that history instead of actually putting a brick and mortar and acknowledging that history and taking care of and cherishing that history and keeping that legacy going. I don't understand it. But this city is a revisionist city. I tell you that. We are a revisionist, whitewashed city, because as long as you can, again, it goes back to making it palatable and tolerable for the overall masses. And when you whitewash it, that's what you do.
Big facts. Look at you, TK. You came in there. I mean, you know what's funny is it's the same you, just 6 years later, a bit, or probably a bunch smarter and wiser. But it's the same passion.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? The same, like, wow, it's a trip.
Hey, listen, when you know what you know and you have come to realize what your purpose is in life, that passion is always going to be there regardless of what path you take in life.
All right, good stuff. Speaking of purpose, we're going to take a quick break right now, and we're going to talk about where your purpose has led you into pursuing a degree. You're getting ready to graduate, and we're going to talk about college life and next steps for you. You're watching The Pop-Up.
My name's Deontay Damper, and I want to talk to you about something real. Mental health, substance use, alcohol use, things many of us often carry in this community, often in silence. What a lot of people don't know is this: crisis care services in King County are free, and they're available 24/7 for every single one of us. You can call 988 at any time and reach out to trained, compassionate counselors right here in this very region. And we're talking about people who listen and stay with you through the moment to figure out what you need. Now, if you want someone to come to you, they'll send their mobile crisis teams anywhere in King County. These mental health professionals and people with lived experience, not law enforcement, from DESC, YMCA, and the Sound, will show up and support you. And now there's another option. You can walk into one of King County's crisis care centers anytime for urgent mental health and substance use support. Just like you walk into urgent care for a broken arm, but this time it's for your mind and your recovery. No insurance, no appointments, just walk in. The first center is actually open right now in Kirkland, and people are already coming through those doors every day. And more centers are on the way, actually in the comings of years, including Seattle on First Hill, in South King County, on the east side, and one specifically just for our youth. We all know someone who struggles. I have. Maybe you have. Or someone you love. Asking for help can often feel hard, but you're not alone. You have someone to call. Someone who can show up, and now a safe place to go. These services are free, and they're here because communities demanded better. They voted to make it real. The doors are open. Walk in when you need to.
This summer, Metro connects the world.
All right, welcome back to the Pop-Up. I'm your host, the Big O Broadcast, to you live tonight from the Black Media Matters studio. My guest in here, T.K. Turner. And, yeah, but before we get to this education in this segment, man, you just mentioned the new bathrooms in Pioneer Square. You know, we've been trying to get a review. Have you used the bathroom in Pioneer Square?
I ain't used it yet, but I plan to make a trip down there to see it because I have a strange feeling that hopefully, I hope I'm wrong, but I have a strange feeling that this was just a World Cup thing.
Well, of course.
So I'm hoping that after the World Cup they stay, but I'm going to go before to get my review in for sure.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice. Download the Throne app.
Throne app.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, because you need an app to get in.
Download the Throne app, you know what I'm saying, and they'll let you up in there.
So it's public if you got a phone.
Well, and so that's a good one right there. And so apparently the downtown ambassadors and members of CARE team can also, you know, get people access in there.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you literally may not own a phone because that's what you're at in life, or your phone could just be dead.
Exactly.
Either way, you still got to go.
Hey, when you got to go, you got to go.
Gotta go. All right.
So you mean you have to find one of those team guys in the yellow vest if you don't have a phone?
That's my understanding, is that downtown ambassadors and CARE team also can give you access to the throne.
So who's covering? So nobody's covering by the bathroom.
I mean, as opposed to no bathroom at all, you know.
They better have somebody hovering.
As opposed to all the business owners who are in here like, no
public bathroom.
No public bathroom. Yeah, you might go and look for an ambassador.
Hey, for real.
It
Hunt him down like it's no tomorrow.
Might be worth it. All right, so keeping it on track here, man. You sent me an invitation, I think last week, for graduation from Seattle University. Seattle,
yes, sir.
Congratulations,
yes,
huh?
Sir. Seattle U.
Yeah, June 14th, little TK.
Yeah,
now graduating. But before that, you were at Seattle College.
Yep, Seattle Central.
And now Seattle U. Tell us, man, what was, I think we all know what the catalyst was, but, you know, you could touch on that, and now how it inspired you to go to Seattle College and now Seattle University, and like, what are you studying? What's happening?
So right now at Seattle U, I'm studying political science with a legal studies specialization, which is gonna help me for law school. But honestly, bro, man, this seeds got planted when I was a kid. For the longest time as I can remember, I always wanted to go to school for either political science or marine biology. I took a marine biology class at Seattle Central and realized that's not the route for me. And so political science became that route, and 2020 actually made it clear what that route was, because I've always been into politics. I always keep up with it, and it just was one of those things that's just been part of my life for all of my life. And so 2020 showed me, like, yeah, I could go try to maybe run for office here or do something over here to get into some public space or right now, but I felt like actually getting that degree made the difference for me, because not that it's going to open doors whatever doors it's going to open, because God's going to open whatever doors God's going to open for me, and ain't nobody going to be able to shut them. But I feel like for me personally, it's just another thing you can't take from me. I earned it. I put the work in for it. And so Seattle Central was really, honestly, for me, truthfully, it's where I felt comfortable. Honestly, it just was comfortability, man. Just from being in the neighborhood so much in 2020, it just felt normal, and it felt something that I could get used to, and be in a conducive study environment. So I went there for 2 years and then transferred to Seattle U, and Seattle U is kind of the same thing. But before it's funny because in 2020 I actually went on their campus trying to get away from them people one day. And that was when Seattle U told them they couldn't come on their campus and things of that nature. So I was actually on that campus in 2020. And I'm not going to lie, it felt so calm and just safe back then. And then so when it came time to choose a transfer school, I'm like, that's the school. The only school I applied to, I didn't apply to UW. Seattle U was the only place I wanted to go because of how I felt in 2020 sitting on that campus trying to catch my breath.
I think so. It's a few things here. I think that the Hill, there's no way you were going to go to the University of Washington because it's like, the Hill is kind of where you at.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? You're a CD baby, but like, man, you're deeply planted now on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And I think, I saw all this, right? After the protest, it was like, there was a lot of energy, people like you had, and you know what I'm saying? I remember you were trying to get meetings with people. You met the chief at one time and a few other people. But then, like, as them winds be blowing here, I think that a lot of what happened that maybe impacted and even maybe in a sense propelled you into where you're at is that when these people in power who say they cared stopped caring. You see what I'm saying? Because the doors was open after the protest.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to share. Let's talk about this. How can we build? How can we do this and that? And then they closed the doors. And what I kind of seen you be is like, you know what? Okay, I see you right here. Let me go this route over here. Because, you used to hit me all the time. Oh, can you set up a meeting over here with this council member, with this police chief, with this and that? Yeah, TK, go ahead. You go talk to him, And to see you be like, okay, I'm going to take this from a street level to an academic level. And now you finna be popping back. You say you at law schools. What's up next for you?
Yes, sir. Seattle U Law School is coming next, man. I'm gonna get an internship for the summer and then take the LSATs in October and then enroll next fall.
See, Eric, everybody been asking us how come we never filed a case against the city. We just waiting for we waiting for TK.
Hey, listen, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. Shoot, I got you though.
Yeah. Well, just on something, What's college life like right now? Just generally speaking, all the political stuff to the side, like at least the political stuff we're talking about. All that stuff to the side, man, what's it like on campus right now? What's it like for students, man? What's happening?
So honestly, man, at Seattle U, being that it's a private university, a lot of them at Boosie, man, them kids is privileged. So, I feel like campus life right now is just kind of carefree for them. For me, it's a little differently though. For me, I'm trying to figure out, okay, I got a presentation I got to do next week, and I got another one after that, and then I got to make sure I get this application in for this internship. So for me, campus life is kind of a little stressful right now, but for the most part though, it's been a great ride.
How safe do you guys feel up there?
Considering public safety. Me personally, I feel as safe about being black in Seattle. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Now, the other kids, they probably feel uber safe because, again, we have public safety that will walk you. Say you're at the gym, right? You can call public safety, and they will walk you from the gym to your dorm.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is like 2 blocks. But they will walk you from there to the dorms. And so when you have chaperones,
what I hear you saying, and it's big shout out to Seattle University for creating a safe environment for the students on campus.
Yes, now creating an environment where we feel like we can speak up and use our voice to make some changes on campus without fear of retribution from the campus.
Okay, all right, well, good stuff. Well, I just want to tell you this, is that we're all very proud of you on your academic journey, and thank you for the tickets to graduation. We're going to be up in there making noise. Is this one of the graduations where they call each person's name?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I got a whole grad pass and everything. Yep. Yeah, we got grad passes and everything, so they can scan them and then they call your name.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Man, all I know is no matter what, I'm going to the cookout after.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because I know what's going down.
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff. Hey, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to get back in the time machine, and we're going to talk about this report that I guess it was last year when Chris Daniels, you sat down with Chris Daniels and kind of did a retrospective 5 years back on the protests. So, quick break. You're watching The Pop-Up.
Hey, what's up, everybody? JD here. I'm tapping in to make sure you go to JuneteenthWA.com to find out everything that's going on and stay up to date on all the stuff that will be happening at Juneteenth this year. The event, we are moving to the beautiful Hobb Field and parking lot A down over there. Make sure you go to the website to hear about everything. We're having a car show this year. We're doing the Taste of Juneteenth this year. And on the main stage, we are bringing Erica Campbell, Crystal Aiken, and Life Jennings. And we have some great local acts that you may have heard of, maybe you haven't, but you will hear about them on Juneteenth. So make sure you go to the website to learn everything you need to know about the event. Also, you can RSVP on the event if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to be a food truck. All that is on the website, juneteenthwa.com. If you want to sign up for the car show, juneteenthwa.com. We'll see you here. Peace.
This summer, Metro connects the world.
Now's your chance to join the Days to Come Reading Challenge to ignite the civic imagination needed for racial repair in Washington state. Read, discuss, and take action until Juneteenth to bring Dr. King's vision of a truly just society to life. Visit saarcpnw.org for more information.
All right, welcome back to the Pop-Up, broadcasting live here from the Black Media Matters studios in downtown Seattle. I am your host, the Big O, joined tonight by TK Turner. Now, TK, last year, you sat down with Chris Daniels, widely recognized as Seattle's news guy. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Chris. That's my buddy, by the way, Chris Daniels.
Yes, sir. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. And you sat down with Chris Daniels, and you guys took a look back on your journey from 2020, and this was now 2025. So we'll play this right now, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Yeah, sure. The sidewalk on Capitol Hill
Every single day from the get-go
has been part of a long path for TK Turner.
I guess in 2020, it all came full circle for me.
She returns to this space now, a changed person.
It wasn't about another black man dying at the hands of the police. It was just the last straw in systematic oppression that I think we were willing to take at that time.
Turner led the original 2020 protest at Capitol Hill.
To me, it was the sentiment of, hey, black people are being murdered in the streets by people in position of power that are supposed to protect those same people they're murdering. How do we change this?
What was the goal in your mind?
I feel like that's what the goal was, is first for people to be heard, for those who are systematically affected by that issue to be heard, right?
Yet as the situation devolved and the chop took hold, Turner says now her voice was drowned out here.
In my opinion, it was Coachella.
Do you feel like your message, the reason why you were here protesting, was hijacked?
Absolutely, 100%.
Turner also says those widely panned police crowd control measures, when combined with opportunistic bad actors,
what they have done is made it more dangerous. It's more likely now you will get shot.
Twisted the conversation. What do you think of the police and the mayor's response here?
I mean, clearly neither one of them are in those same positions anymore now, right? She gave everybody out her word, oh, we won't get tear gas for 30 days. That same night, we were getting tear gas. So it's like, well, you can't trust the people who are supposed to protect you. It creates a bigger divide. You guys are burning bridges instead of building and creating new bridges for us all to cross and coexist together, right?
But TK kept walking.
You ain't got to tear the city up to get our point across.
And walking.
You can get back up and go further than where it knocked you down in the first place. So that when you get to that next knockdown, you understand that you can get back up and keep going.
She left the chop, and somewhere along the way, felt energized.
The impact it's had on me has made me realize like how precious life really is.
The Everyday March, as it was called, later highlighted at Seattle's Museum of History and Industry, prompted police reforms, millions for community resources, and a Black Lives Matter mural that has been preserved on Capitol Hill, a testament to the effort. It also changed her personal trajectory. You were talking about this is a full circle moment for you.
Yeah, I realized for me it was more so about the future generations. You know, my mom struggled raising me and my siblings on her own, you know. I made my own mistakes in life, decided to run the streets and be a gang member and all those types of different things, right? I didn't have a clear path. If somebody was to ask me, well, what do you want to, like, when you get older, you go to college and you go to school, what do you want to go to school for? My first thought was always political science and marine biology. I ended up at Seattle Central. The following year, getting my diploma, and then enrolling in for political science with an emphasis on social justice to get a degree.
Turner may have come for the protests, but now looks at this spot still as an inspiration.
I feel like it's my responsibility to step up for the next generation.
In Seattle, Chris Daniels, Como News.
All right, TK. Man. All together there, man. And so the question is now, 6 years later here in, man, hold on, today's the 29th.
Yes,
this
sir.
This was the first night. This was the night, it was a CID. And a lot of people, that I was one of the few journalists who was there. So Seattle Police Department, as usual, pushed everybody south.
Yep.
They don't ever push them to Lower Queen Anne, but they push them into the CID and pushed them there. And man, these guys tore up the CID. And I remember I ran up on one of them. I was like, man, you know, I remember saying, I was like, man, this is old people who live here. They can't even defend their space. Then I was like, man, bring that shit to the CD and see what happened.
Right.
Yeah, it was the 29th. That was the first night. Anyways,
Crazy.
let me get out my own
No, you good,
time
man.
machine here. You tell me, how far have we come since the 2020 protest?
That's kind of hard to answer when you feel like we made all that progress just to go right back to how everything was before it. So I feel like the progress is there and the remnants of it is still there. And we definitely can go way further than what we've ever want. And I'm not saying it has to be in the streets protesting, but we have that energy still in us, man. We ain't died out. We not dead to the world. Clearly, we got headlines making national news around the world right now. We're still a pillar for change in the world. So I feel like if we can tap back into that same energy, we can get a whole lot further than being liberal conservatives, the liberal conservatives that we are here in this city. Because right now, that's what we're all looking like, is a bunch of liberal conservatives. We were liberal in 2020, and then as the time went on, we became liberal conservative to where, God forbid, we have to risk a livelihood or our way of life or our comfortability to make a difference for somebody else. So me personally, man, I know I've come a long way. I don't know about the city coming a long way. It's like we keep moving and we do what we can to keep that energy going in different ways and in different places. But if the city and the village as a whole is lacking that same energy, where do we really get?
There's a lot of people that say, man, we haven't done much.
I would agree.
Honest with you,
I would agree.
In some places, we've actually gone backwards.
Yes.
Unfortunately. TK, want to extend a lifetime invitation for you. We don't give these out often over here. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the Amex Black Card or something.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
it.
The lifetime invitation to continue to come back here to the Black Media Matters studio or wherever that we call home and continue to check in with us, you know what I'm saying, and mark your progress. We'll be there at graduation. Can't wait to be there when you graduate from law school and see how you continue to thrive in your purpose.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that, man. I love being here. I'm not going to lie to you, man. It's just like, it's comforting, you know what I mean, to be in a space that is just welcoming and inviting. And it's just, man, it's familiar to me. Like, y'all familiar, man. I appreciate, man, all the support over the years, man. 6 years strong in this, man. I swear I was just telling you, like, man, we done came a long way from then to now, man. And the progress that you've made since then and the endeavors you've embarked on, man, is next level, man. And I know it ain't always been an easy road for you, so, man, I'm proud of you for the things you've done since then and the milestones you've hit since then, man, because it takes a lot to keep going when you feel like, what's the point? Or when you feel like, man, I'm just doing this just to be doing it at this point. It takes a lot of resilience to keep going. So, man, from me to you, from one resilient person to another, man, thank you for keeping that resilience, man.
Well, man, I appreciate it, and we're going to keep it resilient and resonating, man.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, want to remind people that, you know, we got to pay bills around here. and we're not a nonprofit, we're a for-profit. So we ain't get one of these big grants. You know what I'm saying? Do your part. Help us keep the lights on around here. You can donate. Go to whereweconverge.com. And click the donate button. Big shout out to our $5 family. You know what I'm saying? The $5 family been holding us down from day one. Hey, listen, all you big money people too, you know we appreciate you. But you know what I'm saying? That $5 family, it's there. It's a special place in our heart. TK, before we get out of here, man, that's that camera right there, the one all the way to the right. You can let people know anything that you want to tell them about what you're up to, or if they want them to keep up with you or not, but anything. The floor is yours.
I think what I want to say to the village as a whole, like the city as a whole, don't get complacent in thinking that your comfortability matters more than the overall good of the village. Because at the end of the day, while you're sitting over there watching the fire burn your neighbors' houses from afar, eventually that fire is going to spread and end up at your front door. So don't wait till it gets to your front door to want to do something. Do something before it gets to your front door. Go grab a fire extinguisher or a hose and go help your neighbors put out the fires that they're experiencing. Don't be selfish. Don't be just about you. Be about us as a collective, as a whole. Some things in this world are black and white, but then there's other things that are just come down to plain and simple community. So the things that are our community, let's be about community. Simple as that.
All right. You heard it right there from TK. Man, TK, you are a very special guest as well, because this is the first time in the history of the pop-up that we're going to end a show exactly on time. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Let's go.
Make sure and tune in Monday all next week, man. It's Gun Violence Awareness Week right here on the pop-up. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe until Monday at 9 p.m. Peace.